I am done apologizing. I am done being persecuted for my strength. You people should be thanking Christ that I am who and what I am because you need me. You need me to save you. You do. You're not the real heroes. I'm the real hero.
At the moment, Antony Starr plays perhaps the most hated, vile, manipulative, psychopathic villain on television. I mean, there is a good Hitler documentary on Netflix right now, but besides that, it's pretty close, I guess. After all, Homelander is essentially an evil version of Superman, and a kinder, warmer version of Donald Trump. But one thing Homelander is not is one-dimensional. There's a lot going on with a character like this that's just, it's a feast for an actor. From bad guy monologues to deep-seated psychological issues to insane moments that are just as scary as they can be funny. Yeah, there's a lot of comedy to this guy as well, especially when he's trying to preserve his image and keep the other superheroes in line.
I can see your girdle, you disgusting fat Get off stage.
It's also a role that I think requires just a lot of life experience. I mean, an acting experience definitely, but just also in life. That is difficult to fabricate. Antony Starr has been knocking around since the early 1990s, and the story of his career from New Zealand to Australia to Los Angeles is a classic tale of hard work and perseverance. But before we go picking out our gray pubes and putting them in a jar in a little shrine, let's talk about Patreon. Yes, we have a Patreon, and if you would like to help contribute to the channel, we have different rewards, different tiers, all that good stuff on patreon.com/thebackfocus. Link is in the description. And of course, thank you all for continuing to comment and like and subscribe, hit that notification bell. Feeling good, you guys. I feel like we got a good groove going on. Of course, Antony Starr's success didn't come overnight. It's always refreshing, again, to see the confident guy who looks just amazing and just knowing that he struggled at first. There was a time when even the greatest actors, and I say this with respect, had no idea what they were doing. In Antony's case, and by his own admission, there was a time when he didn't know exactly what he was doing, like when he was a guest star on a 1996 episode of Xena, Warrior Princess. He had previously played a centaur, but this other role had a little more meat on its bones.
Leave her alone! David, don't!
He played David, who helped Xena defeat a giant, Goliath. Wait, so this is David and Goliath. Did they always do character crossovers from the Old Testament in this show? Is Xena in the Bible?
He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me.
Well, according to Xena lore, David wrote Psalm 23, and I was ready to make fun of this, but that is surprisingly biblically accurate for a show that is just essentially eye candy. Fans of Xena, your show is silly. I'm sorry.
Xena, hello.
Anyway, David, of course, eventually defeats Goliath with the little rock and the sling. And the actor playing Goliath makes sure to break his fall with his hands. Awesome. Getting sidetracked. So in a 2020 interview for the Golden Globes, Antony reflects on this job. Quote, "I really didn't know what I was doing on that set. I was lost, and you can see it in the performance. It was pretty dreadful. I never grew up wanting to be an actor. I just sort of fell into this, and all of a sudden I found myself on this film set on Xena and was sort of running around playing David in a David and Goliath story. It was really that I fluked my way into that first job, and I think probably the producers and the director were wondering what they'd got once I turned up on set." Afterwards, Antony took some years off from acting and returned with supporting roles in smaller films that were at least partially shot in New Zealand. In the drama In My Father's Den, he played one of those characters where you just see him and you're like, what icky thing are you going to be doing in this movie? He was essentially a creepy pederast lusting after his girlfriend's teenage daughter.
Done your homework?
Did you please take your foot away?
You think I never did homework? I was just asking.
Then he appeared in the Seth Green comedy Without a Paddle. You guys remember this? I never watched it, but in all the trailers, they go camping and they have to cuddle together for warmth in the waterfall, and it's like, but they don't want to do that because they're straight, thank you very much. But anyway, he played their best friend in the opening moments of the movie.
That's your out, boys!
And that's it. Bye, guys. Have fun with the rest of your movie. I'll off now.
I wonder where he's gonna end up.
He's gonna do great things.
Billy's dead.
Then his character died. And Antony appeared briefly in... Hold on, I want to read this as Norm Macdonald. And then Antony Starr there appeared in the film The World's Fastest Indian, starring Anthony Hopkins.
Maybe they'll produce my film, The Last on Earth, starring Tom Hanks. How about that?
Anyway, Antony basically helps Burt Munro, a kind of New Zealand folk hero with a fast motorcycle, move to America.
We're raising money to send Bert to the USA.
But Antony's first big break came when he played not one, but two characters in the highly successful New Zealand crime comedy drama Outrageous Fortune, which focused on the comings and goings of a dysfunctional crime family trying to go straight after the patriarch gets put away for 4 years. On one hand, Antony played Jethro, a shrewd, intelligent lawyer who's loyal to his family and doesn't mind bending the truth a bit, like when he claimed to be half Maori to get a job.
Are you Maori?
Half?
There's no mention of this anyway.
No, well, I'm not in favor of preferential treatment. I think my people need to stand on their own 2 feet.
On the other hand, he played Van, a petty criminal and essentially an idiot black sheep of the family.
Ow.
What happened to your eye?
I fell. Down.
As Jethro, Antony had some Homelander-esque moments, honestly, as he tries to preserve the integrity of his family's name.
You'd go off your nut at us, and we deserve it, and you know it!
Who died and appointed you wolf?
And as Van, I mean, he's just this lovable goofball. He's just constantly making problems for his family, but he's got a heart of gold.
Love, it's bigger than, like, fancy dresses and booze, eh? It's like a miracle. And, if you got that miracle, like Casey and Muntz, then you gotta hold on to it, eh? Like anything.
Yeah.
As his first regular acting job that went on for 6 years, Antony remembers it fondly as an intense learning experience.
This sort of day in, day out was going to work on a set. It really helped me decide, one, that I wanted to do it, and two, that I could do it, and get past the newness of everything and get into a position of actually feeling really comfortable on set and starting to expand creatively rather than sort of going on to foreign sets for small chunks of time, and then before you know what's going on, you're off set. It can be ruthlessly quick, but getting on set all day, every day was a game changer. So it was great.
After that show wrapped, Antony made his way to Australia to get his face around town with casting directors and very quickly got his first job there, starring alongside Joel Edgerton in the film Wish You Were Here. He appeared briefly in the opening moments, and then it's revealed that he died. But no, this isn't like a Without a Paddle situation.
Man, he did great things.
He was on vacation with some friends, goes missing, and the rest of the film slowly reveals what happened to him. Which, spoilers, turned out to be some shady dealings with the Vietnamese mafia.
I do a bit of business with these guys. Business? We were having a drink, that is it. Whatever else they're involved in, there's nothing I can do about it. What business?
At this point in his career, Antony already had a lot of experience and good roles under his belt. But one thing he had yet to do was be a badass. Alright, let's make fun of America now, just to balance things out. It was time for America, mother. And he kicked it off with a guzzling bang when he played a ball-busting bastard former felon out of the clink after 15 stain years, looking like a damn Greek statue. Man, he's putting down beers, he's plowing some strain, he's going vroom vroom, fast in those cars, vroom vroom, these technology and vroom vroom, fast motorcycle, vroom vroom. He's being all sneaky like a ghost. He's there and he's not there. He's on making his girl drop her dishes and He's kicking ass. He killed a guy with the A1 steak sauce bottle. That's the most American damn thing I've ever seen. I'm going and he ends up assuming the identity of Lucas Hood, the damn sheriff who got and presides over a pisshole town as he grapples with his dick-swinging past and his new job as a ball-busting lawman.
And that I will well and faithfully perform
the duties of Banshee County Sheriff,
the duties of Banshee County Sheriff,
the office of which I now enter.
the office of which I now enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
In case you missed it, here's the entire plot right here in one line.
Baby, you just sat for 15 years because you were the most notorious thief in the country. Now you want to play cop?
The tone shift in Antony's career here really is staggering. I realize I'm kind of making fun of it, but man, he's a great action star, which is something he had never done before.
Like I'd never done action, and I was used to standing in bedrooms with girls arguing about breakups, and like dramatic stuff.
And I think if you showed this show to people, they wouldn't recognize Antony Starr. I mean, I don't have a big sample size here, but I did ask my mom.
Okay, but you completely forgot that he was Homelander?
I kind of thought, that guy looks familiar. Because in Banshee, he's so hot. He's just hot. The other guy, he doesn't even look like the same person. Captain, who is it? The Underlander. No, Overlander.
Then he fought for truth, justice, and the American way as Homelander in the series The Boys.
Homelander?
You boys okay?
He's such a great guy. And by great, we mean a sadistic sociopath who will stop at nothing to be loved and adored.
They want me. There you go. Oh, they should be worshiping me. Tremble at my feet. Put a knife to their children's throat. Like Abraham to Isaac.
Karl Urban, fellow Xena Warrior Princess alumni, who, no joke, played 4 separate characters on the series. It was like Julius Caesar and Cupid and 2 other guys. Weird. One's like a caveman and the other's just like a guy. What's the character breakdown? Just a guy. I think I could do that. He plays Billy Butcher, who's on a revenge-fueled mission to bring down Homelander and expose him for the monster he is. And something I realized, I mean, I probably knew this, but I forgot, is that Xena was shot in New Zealand. Karl Urban is from New Zealand also. I didn't know that. These guys are everywhere.
And they don't, I mean, they're sitting on like boxes and crates with beers and laughing.
That's so
and
New
chatting.
Zealand.
It's so New Zealand.
Love that accent.
Anyway, to most Americans, Homelander is considered the greatest superhero in the world, thanks in part to Vought, a powerful corporation that not only markets and controls the public image of various heroes, but also manufactures a secret serum that gives people amazing abilities. And Homelander is Vaught's greatest creation. Like, I mean literally, because he was born and bred in a lab. But unlike Superman, he never had Ma and Pa Kent to help guide the way there, you know? He kinda turned out rotten. I mean, he gets the bad guys. You gotta give him credit for that. But I think part of him just really enjoys the killing.
It's all over now. There you go.
When he's not pretending to fight crime for the PR or making propaganda blockbuster films, he's manipulating and threatening everyone in his inner circle to some degree to maintain the integrity of the world-renowned superhero group, the Seven.
Keep those hands down by your sides, Missy.
So on to Antony's performance here, it's almost like he's playing 3 versions of Homelander. First, there's the public persona. He's patriotic, he's noble, he's inspiring.
Who's the real hero?
And then there's the emotionally insecure Homelander, where he's jealous and needy and really into drinking breast milk. So his wires got crossed. And finally, there's the real Homelander, where he's paranoid and narcissistic, just plain evil.
You stay the back or I'll laser you, damn it! I'll laser every one of you!
And Antony manages to bounce back and forth between the personas effortlessly.
So we done?
It is such a wildly entertaining tight wire act to watch.
All right! You
seconds.
And honestly, playing two characters for 6 years on Outrageous Fortune probably helped him perfect the juggling act here.
A dirty, shriveled, anemic little part of you that still mules for approval and love and a mommy and a daddy and boo-hoo-hoo.
And the little things. He's doing some great work throughout the series that I don't know if people notice. For example, I love how he gets his cape out of the way in this very graceful way before he sits down. Like, you'd imagine that from the time Homelander first put on a cape to now, he's perfected this kind of grace and flourish of cape sitting. And man, he is fantastic at saying a lot without saying anything. Sometimes it's funny, like when he gets dressed down by a superior. But then there are these moments where you can just see him almost physically holding back rage, like he's just bottling it up and it can explode at any moment. As a result, there's always this just unbelievable amount of tension and suspense in scenes where it's just Homelander in a room with another character, but you have no clue if he will just murder them. Like, this is the time they will die.
I'd prefer to be loved. I would. But if you take that away from me, well, being feared is A1 okie doke by me.
And with every season, it just, you get to dig a little bit deeper into the neuroses of this character. You know, like in the second season, it's revealed that Homelander raped and impregnated Billy Butcher's wife. So he's a dad. He's a really, really bad dad. And it's in these scenes here you begin to see just how truly twisted and dark this Homelander is.
They're only humans and toys for our amusement.
Anyway, I mean, we could go on and on about all the awful, shocking, vindictive, grotesque, deplorable, and just flat-out mean things this character has done.
I mean, this guy was a real jerk.
But needless to say, it's arguably Antony's most popular role to date. I mean, in my opinion, he makes the show. Look, it's a great show. The whole cast is fantastic, but it's Antony's face I'm seeing on every ad for Season 4. He's even a playable character in the new Mortal Kombat game. He's drinking the breast milk. That's great. His storyline is what keeps me coming back. Partly because I want to see this terrifying character get the punishment he deserves, and mostly because Antony, he's just so good in this role. It's just as simple as that. He's amazing. I'm a big fan of this performance. But none of it would have been possible without the journey. Even when he was still trying to figure things out years ago on Xena, whether or not the final product is something that audiences connect with, every set, every performance is a potential learning experience. It truly does seem that every past job he's had has led to this role. He's got comedic timing. He can switch easily between roles or personalities. He's got the gravitas of an action star, and the subtle, terrifying nature of a true monster. And all these skills fit together like a perfect puzzle for Homelander. I mean, with this character, what more could an actor ask for?
All right.
I had a little trouble finishing Banshee because I could just see that arrogant character, and I couldn't unsee it, and I was sorry that I knew, because up to that point, he was just so hot in Banshee. It was just fun to watch.
You have a couple different celebrities that you think are attractive, like Adrian Paul.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about Adrian Paul.